Hello and welcome to ForaCare. In this video, we will be showing you how to perform a blood glucose test with a D40g 2-in-1 blood glucose and blood pressure device, as well as how to upload the results to the telehealth network via the 3G cellular connection. Before starting, please ensure that your hands are fully washed and dried to avoid any type of infection. You also want to ensure that you have all the required components for the test. Here's what you'll need: a lancing device with a lancet, a vial of the D40 blood glucose test strips, and of course, your D40g 2-in-1 device. Please note that the test strips do expire, so make sure that your strips are current prior to starting the test. You can check the expiration date on the top of the box or on the front of the vial itself. Now let's go ahead and prep our lancing device. Open the lancing device by twisting the cap off and insert the lancet, making sure that it's secured in place. Twist off the safety disc at the top to expose a needle and set aside. Now put the cap back on and twist it, making sure that it clicks so that it locks. Now you want to cock the device by pulling on the last end over here until you hear it click or until you see that the lancing button has turned orange. This means that it's ready. You can also set the penetration depth on the pen by twisting this little tip right here. Now the longer you see the little wedges, the longer the wedge is, the more of a blood sample that you'll get once you actually prick your finger. Okay, so now let's set that aside. Now we're ready for the test. So let's go ahead and take our meter, and with it off, take a strip from the vial, ensuring that you close the vial right away to avoid any type of contamination on the actual test strips. Okay. Now, take the test strip and insert it face up. This is the face, this is the connector end, and then this is the absorbent end. Take the connector end and insert it into the test strip slot in the top of the device. This will make the device turn on automatically, and then you'll see a little test strip and a blinking blood drop on top of the screen. This indicates that it's ready for the test. At this time, you can also change the testing mode or the measuring mode by pressing on the M button. So if you click on it, the first option you'll see will be AC, which means prior to a meal. Either you're fasting for more than 8 hours or you just haven't had a meal in the last couple of hours. Then there's also the PC mode, which is post-meal. So, right after a meal or a couple hours after a meal. And then there's also QC mode. QC mode is for quality control. So let's say you're doing a quality control and you have the control solution formula that you just want to use to make sure that the device is working properly. This is what the control solution looks like, and it is sold separately, so make sure that you purchase it separately if you wanted to do a control solution test. But if you just want to make sure that you're taking a test and you have no regard for the time of day that it is, whether it's before or after a meal, then you can just leave it blank, like how it'll default when you first insert the test strip. Okay? Now that we have that done, let's go ahead and rub the testing area. This is an important part because you want to make sure that you get enough blood flow to the testing area so that when you puncture it, that we have a nice little drop. And let me get a tissue ahead of time. So now you take your lancing device and then you want to press. You see it's nice and red. You want to press the eject button here, and then you want to wipe off the first drop as a rule of thumb, just to avoid any kind of contamination, and then you push again. Now take the device with the strip in it and put the absorbent hold to the blood. Trying to make sure that you don't smear the blood. There will be a countdown, and then your result will show up on the screen. Immediately after, you will notice that the RF indicator light on the top of the device will go from an orange color to a solid blue color or a blinking blue color. This means that the signal for the cellular signal has been found, and it is strong, and that the result of your test is being uploaded to the telehealth network. Now, if this indicator light were to remain an orange color or a blinking blue, you can feel free to move the device to a different part of your house or your property to make sure that there was a better signal and it could connect. Once the device transfers over the measurement, then it will automatically turn off, indicating that the transfer was successful. Okay. At this time, you want to eject the test strip, the used test strip, and you can do so by pressing on this eject button, setting it aside. Now, let's say that you were in an area that didn't have really good connectivity or reception to a cellular channel or connection. You can go ahead and save this for a later time. You can take it with you to, let's say, a different somebody else's house or in a public area where you know the signal will be much stronger. And then with the device off, simply press on the RF button that's above the power button to turn it on. Turn on the signal. This will show you the letters PCL on the screen. And then again, the RF indicator will go from an orange color to a blinking blue to then a solid blue. Again, solid blue means that it's connected to the cellular signal. It will go ahead and transfer all of your devices, all of the measurements that are stored on your device, because it could be 1 or 2 or 3 or however many you've stored so far that you haven't had a chance to transfer in. And then once it's done, the device will turn off automatically. It may take a few seconds or even a minute before it finally does transfer over. In the meantime, you want to go ahead and open the pen, the lancing device, again. Oh, there it is. Now it's off. That means it was successful at transferring all of your measurements. Anyway, you take the lancing device and you take the used needle, and you want to make sure that you press it down on that disc, the safety disc that you removed from the beginning, just to make sure that the needle is not left exposed, so that when you throw it away, in case it is considered a biohazardous material, the strip and the used needle. So when you throw it away, please make sure that you put it out of the reach of children or any pets or anybody that might have access to it, because it is considered contagious and it could spread disease. And that's it. It's that simple. If you have any questions or if any other errors appear on your screen or any other issues, please feel free to contact the ForaCare customer service line. And that number is 888-307-8188.